Hi, this is Thresden, and this is part 3 of an ESO Firesong walkthrough. In the previous episode, we finally finished up exploring the city of Vastir, and we went up this western road right here, and tried to get to this delve called Fawn's Thicket, but unfortunately we weren't able to make it to it. It turns out that there's sort of this mountainous area right here that blocks it off. So you have to go over here and go through this area. I didn't want to do all that, so I decided to just come over here to the eastern side of the island and start trying to get to these main story quest objectives right here. But on the way, we ran across this woman, Lenaza, who's standing here. Another thing that happened is I had some frame rate issues in the first 2 episodes of this series, so I lowered the resolution a little bit. Hopefully the graphics haven't deteriorated that badly, and it's still pretty nice looking, but I'm going to see if this helps the frame rate issue some. So let's go ahead and talk to Lenaza here and see what she is doing standing out here in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, a tide of curses upon this feathered fiend, and whatever dank corner of oblivion he flapped from. He owes his thanks to you, traveler. I was just about to kill him, even though he can't die.
What do you mean the bird can't die?
Exactly what I said. Supposedly, he's centuries old, but the only thing in his empty head are 2 riddles. They concern a long-lost treasure called the Gloom Lantern.
Treasure?
I can't make sense of it, and neither could my crew. Tava guide their souls.
Wait, your crew?
Aye. We ran afoul of some Dreadsails while searching for the damned treasure. Kiko and I were the only survivors. Look, I want to find that treasure and avenge my crew, but I've no mind for riddles. Help me out and I'll make it worth your while.
I'll listen to his riddles and see what I can do.
You look the type to have solved a riddle or two. Now, to get that bird talking, you'll need to prompt him with the passphrase. It's from an old Abitian freebooter saying, no pray to hear his first riddle, no pay to hear the second.
Okay, I have some questions about this treasure.
Legends call it the Gloom Lantern, some artifact stolen by pirates from the deep Druids. It's said to shroud any ship in a thick veil of fog, hiding them from enemies. Sounds perfect for getting bloody revenge on the Dreadsails, doesn't it?
Now, who are the deep Druids you mentioned?
The Elder Tide, maybe? You know how vague legends can be. It was stolen from Druids and hidden away when they fought back. Someone must have taught Kiko the riddles so they could find the Gloom Lantern again. But I guess they never got around to it.
Interesting. How did your crew come across the bird?
Plundering, of course. My guess is he's been passed from ship to ship for some time on account of the curse keeping him alive. Almost makes you feel kind of bad for him. Almost.
How did you figure out he could lead you to treasure?
Well, I suppose that's my fault. When we took our last prize, I was reading through the ship's logs, as I like to do, and that's when I found Kiko's passphrase. The captain smelled treasure, and that was it. We were bound for the sisters.
You said the bird can't die?
Kiko apparently belonged to some commodore whose fleet made birth in the sisters. Legend says this commodore meddled in some druid ritual and cursed his fleet to undeath, including his stupid bird here.
You really hate this bird, don't you?
And why shouldn't I? Captain always told the crew that Kiko and I were equals on account of how brainless we both were. But I never promised to lead anyone to treasure, so you can guess which one of us got the better treatment.
These are the same people you're trying to avenge, right?
My crew? Of course. Been a pirate all my life, and they were the only people I had in the world. They were like family to me. Isn't this what you do for family? And Kiko keeps squawking out these riddles, so I can only guess he agrees.
Okay. Alright, let's see. Where is Kiko exactly? Oh, he's right there. Hello, Kiko.
Ah, your mother was a sloan! Sloan!
No prey.
Ah, no pray! Pray! This half sleeps beneath the shade, in tangled roots of tunneled glade. A stream of fire cuts the trees, yet south of home for he who sees.
Okay, no pay?
Pay! Pay! second piece is within reach, between vaster shores and wind-racked beach. Craft approach with spade in hand, eye the cauldron and turn the sand. Ah, sand!
Sounds like a load of nonsense, right?
Yes.
Here, let me write them down for you. Vaster shores and wind-racked... Huh. If you know you're heading, go on ahead. I'll keep an eye on the bird and we'll meet up with you soon.
Do I have quest objectives? Okay, so the second riddle is at this crafting station down here. What about the first riddle? Are you telling me... Oh, so it's going to be another quest that we don't finish. It's going to be a long time before we finish. We can at least do this part. Uh-oh.
Nicely done.
Old Port Mornard. Alright, so I wonder what set we can make with this. Old Growth Brewer. And what are the stats on that? I probably can't check it, because I don't have enough traits researched. Wait. Yes, I can. Gives stamina recovery, magic recovery, health recovery. Wow, this character has such bad crafting abilities, he can't even make max level items. Alright, now, where do I solve the riddle?
Pico, Pico, treasure Seco!
Okay, so it's somewhere in here. Wonder if I could get the parrot to tell me the clues again? Can I look at quest items? Kiko's riddles, here we go. This half sleeps beneath the shade, in tangled roots of tunneled glade. A stream of fire cuts the trees, yet south of home for he who sees. Okay, so something in the shade. We're looking for something in the shade, like maybe over here. Or over here. Some ancestor silk just sitting there. There's Kiko.
Take no prisoners! No prisoners! No prey! Prey! This half sleeps beneath the shade, in tangled roots of tunneled glade. A stream of fire cuts the trees, yet south of home for he who sees.
So why is he standing right there? I don't know how far I can go before I'll be out of the quest area. Guess I could go quite a bit down here. Ah, here we go. Key piece. 1/2 of a metal piece that seems to make a key.
Tava's beak. There it is. Nobody would ever think to look there unless you had a keen mind for bird-brained riddles. One riddle down. That wasn't so hard. Maybe I was a little harsh on old Kiko. He's just doing what he was taught to, right? Not like he knows much else.
Any hints on the first riddle?
Northern Galen has plenty of trees. Big ones. Sounds like it's buried under one of those. Near some sort of river of fire? Lava, maybe? He who sees... I've no idea. Whatever that is, it sounds dangerous.
Okay, I feel pretty dumb now. I've been looking at the clue for the first piece, but this is the area where the second piece is, so I just found it by pure chance. I was looking at the wrong clue. Alright, I'm gonna go get this Wayshrine next, and then we'll go on with the main story. And this stuff with Kiko the bird, we'll do this when we get to it. The second part, or what they consider to be the first part, is way, way up the road. So I'm not going to do that right now.
I'm getting to see all sorts of places traveling with you.
There's Duluth. These guys have such weird-looking armor.
Hey, mate. Glad to see a friendly face. If you're looking for some action, we've got sea elves here. They chased House Mornard's knights out of this fort, but if we work fast, we can take it back.
Sir Stefan sent me. What do you have in mind?
I spotted more sea elf warships brimming with reinforcements. Luckily, the fort's ballistas are intact. Get to the ballistas and stop those ships. That will give us time to deal with the enemies who already made it to shore.
What will you be doing?
I'll see if I can rally the knights and get the wounded back on their feet. We'll need them to hold the fort once you stop the reinforcements from reaching the shore. Meet me on the bluffs north of the fort when you're done.
Alright, I'll use the ballistas to drive off the sea elf ships.
Take a right when you get into the fort. There's a path that leads down to the docks. You'll find the ballistas there. My guess is the Dreadsail ships will flee at the first sign of resistance. They won't risk their ships to ballista strikes.
Tell me more about these sea elves.
The sea elves? Haven't spent much time in these waters, eh? The technical term is Maormer, but nobody actually calls them that. They're bloodthirsty raiders from the great isle of Piandania. We usually see a ship or two, but this bunch have a fleet.
A pirate fleet?
A huge one. Call themselves the Dreadsails. They're a vicious band of pirates that have been causing trouble in the archipelago for some time, but no one realized how large their fleet was. Now they seem more intent on conquest than pillaging.
Who leads these pirates?
That would be Sea Lord Nalos. He recruits sea elf captains and offers them a place in the Dreadsail's fleet. If I didn't know better, I'd say he was trying to create his own sea elf kingdom far from Piandania. Could explain our current problems.
What was that about Druid quarrels?
The Druids of the Sisters Archipelago are divided into 3 circles. The Stone Lore, the Eldertide, and the Firesong. Usually they get along. Or at least leave each other in peace. Lately, not so much.
A Firesong named Archdruid Michiel attacked the Glenmore Weirds.
I know, mate. I was there. The Firesong say they don't know anything about Archdruid Michiel's travels and didn't approve his actions.
Oh, really?
I don't believe them. Neither do the Stone Lore or the Eldertide.
What about Free and Druid Laurel? Are they here?
Aye. They've been spending time at Glimmertarn, a Stone Lore village to the north. Laurel has also been scouting for sea elf incursions. Free rarely leaves her side. You wouldn't believe how Free has grown. Matured? Not sure how to describe it.
No, that's going to be interesting to see. He's talking about The Firesong prologue. That's what he's referring to. This character did the Firesong prologue, so they both remember each other. One more question. Why are the Druid circles quarreling now?
Druid Laurel thinks it's got something to do with an old prophecy. The Eldertide blame the Sea Elves, and the Firesong refuse to explain themselves to anyone. So, your guess is as good as anyone's, mate.
What are you doing here, Dulif?
After our last adventure together, I wanted to do more to help Druid Laurel with her exploration of Druid history. I came back here to dust off some old books, ask a few questions. After all, Galen's like a second home to me.
A second home to you?
Remember how I mentioned that shipwreck years ago? When the Stonelore Druids rescued me and took me in, taught me to see the world in a new way? That was here on Galen. I set aside my cutlass for magic, but lately, I've needed both blade and staff.
So how'd you wind up helping House Mornard?
Count Mornard sent word to the Mages Guild that he wanted to hire a battle mage. I was already here, so the guild sent me. Not the first time I've sold my sword, or my staff. I advise the Count, and get my hands dirty when I need to.
It's telling me that I haven't done all of these dialogue options with the Druid Corals part.
The Druids of the Sisters Archipelago are divided into 3 circles. The Stonelore, the Eldertide, and the Firesong. Usually they get along, or at least leave each other in peace. Lately, not so much.
Okay, so we've actually got 3 options because we've seen the Firesong Druids. We've had 3 different adventures dealing with these Druids. So, Firesong Druids attacked the Stonelore at Earthenroot Enclave.
Aye, Druid Laurel told me about that. The Stonelore were shocked. Down through the years, there have been arguments that turned violent, but nothing like a full-fledged war among the circles. At least you stopped them from getting the Stonelore seed.
I did. What did the Stonelore Circle do with their sacred seed?
Hidden it somewhere, or so Laurel tells me. But she and the rest of the Stonelore are baffled. The seeds are just symbols. They don't know why Archdruid Devirik was ready to kill to get his hands on it.
You know, I ran into trouble with Eldertide Druids on High Isle. They made a bunch of crab things that tried to kill me.
The Eldertide resent the Breton noble houses. All outsiders, really. They believe islands belong to the Druids, and some of them act on that belief. But we've got something of a truce with them on Galen. Turns out sea elves are everyone's problem.
Alright, I just had to fix a video setting. Turned out I had changed the resolution on my PC, but not on the recording, so if it looks a little different now, that's why. I'm on the wrong quest. I need to go to a Sea of Troubles. And I need to repel sea elf ships.
I bet I could outdrink any of those gilded frogs.
I hope I helped.
Oh, that's Bastion over there. I'm shooting at Bastion. Alright, where's the ships? Alright, looks like this is one of them. Oh, I'm gonna use a ballista? Seriously? Alright, well, that was kind of lame. I was hoping maybe I'd have to target it or something. But no, this is not World of Warcraft. ESO should have more stuff like that where the interface changes. That would be fun. It's not their style, though. Oh, Stadia is acting up today. Why does she keep shooting her staff like that? Yep, I apologize for all the problems. It's something going on with Stadia.
Blight, what a slaughter.
Okay, so I need to go back and talk to Dulif before I get started doing this. This is the second objective.
Time to bring the lightning!
Nice work, mate. Your aim was impeccable.
Yeah, my aim was impeccable because there was no challenge because I just pulled the lever and it hit the ship.
Well done. These Dreadsails may be fierce, but they lack loyalty. Even though they've got numbers on their side, they won't stick their necks out for their mates. That's something we can use against them.
Anything more you need from me here?
You've done your part. We can deal with the stragglers around Windwrack Fort, now that they've got no reinforcements coming to support them. Your work's just beginning, though, mate. I fear the seas ahead will be rough for all of us.
Have you heard anything about the Druid settlement at Tuinh?
Word is, the Sea Elves struck there as well. It's just up the coast to the north. I believe Druid Laurel of the Stone Lore Circle is there, looking
saw
into
her.
things.
I'd...
I'd appreciate it if you kept an eye on her, mate. Laurel is like kin to me.
Who's Druid Laurel again?
Laurel found me half-drowned after a shipwreck 10 years back. She was just a girl then, but she had the sense to fetch help. Which is how I came to know the Stone Lore Druids. She's been a friend ever since.
Sir Stefan said there were sea elves near Suncleft Cove.
Aye, I heard that too. Something about sea elves taking prisoners into a cave near the cove. Strange. If the Dreadsails took captives, why haven't they tried to ransom them yet? Banneret Corrick went to investigate. Help him if you can.
Alright, I'll try to help both of them.
Yes! Are we going to race?
What is that?
Blight, what a slaughter.
Oh, is that volcano? Man, that thing is gigantic.
I didn't expect to see you again so soon, friend. But I never refuse the gifts that Ifray is willing to give me. I came to help the Eldertide Druids, but I was too late. This battle is already lost, Blight, take it.
Sir Stefan Mornard sent me. He was concerned that the Druids never answered his call.
Sir Stefan's a dear friend of mine and practically a Druid himself. We studied together under Archdruid Raval when we were younger. It's not unlike him to worry about the Druids, even the Eldertide.
What happened here?
The Dreadsails happened, but it makes no sense. The Eldertide have no riches. Druids don't care about such things, and they command formidable magic. What pirate attacks a target that can fight back for no obvious profit?
I don't know. I ran into Eldertide Druids who helped the Ascendant Magus on High Isle.
Druids choose their own paths. The Eldertide of High Isle are bitter, resentful. But as long as the Mornards don't push into Druid territory, the Eldertide of Galen are content to live in peace. It was foolish of the Dreadsails to provoke them.
Sir Stefan said that the Dreadsails were unusually determined.
That's strange. It makes me wonder what the Sea Elves really hope to gain by these attacks. Let's look around. Watch for anything that looks interesting or out of place. With any luck, we can figure out why the Sea Elves attacked Tuinh.
Okay. Hey, do you know why they attacked? Just kidding. Dreadsail orders. My Dreadsails, I promised you a haven, and now the path to our new home lies before us. I have struck a bargain with a powerful Druid of Galen, one who will help us secure a stronghold on the Isle. In return, she requests that we acquire a relic held by a rival circle, the Eldertide, raid the Isle's eastern coast and search for this relic. If it can't be found, take captives for questioning. There must be a lorekeeper among the Eldertide Druids who knows how to find it. Do not fail me. For the price of a Druid relic, we get a new home, Sea Lord Nalos.
A lorekeeper? What relic could they be searching for?
I don't know. It worries me, though. What are the Firesong gonna do with the relic? Think he said they were working for the Firesong? We don't want them having that relic. It's probably something powerful that's gonna let them kill everybody. Eldertide altar.
The candles are still burning. The Eldertide Druids who tend this altar have not been gone for long.
Druid Scapegoats. An examination of Druid bias in The Tempest and the Sunflower by Druid Nivien of the Eldertide Circle. Phoebe Pajot has penned a historical romance, quote, based on true events, end quote, meant to appeal to the hearts of romantic readers on holiday in the Sisters Archipelago. It's even inspired a song of the same name. The story's quiet but undeniable success has provoked a response from Jacques Dufort, with claim to the true story of his ancestors, despite the work of fiction not mentioning their real names even once. Interestingly, both versions do mention the very real Eldertide Circle, for whom I now speak. Let us first examine the facts. Lisette Mornard and Arnois Dufort were born in the Sisters in the early Second Era. Lineage charts from their respective families are easily cross-referenced, with tournament dates at Castle Navir. From the Castle Navir tournament records, we know that Lisette Mornard was indeed a knight, and that she was a tournament champion in the year 2E42. Notably, there's one major piece of evidence missing from these tales: the letters. Why would such accounts of this romance be forever hidden away or destroyed? Bear with me as I get to that. I've heard the Mornard version of this tale, similar only in that it has been passed down through the family. In their version, it was not the Druids but the younger Dufort brother, Ander, who poisoned Arnois' blade. It was the perfect way to fry two fish in one pan. He disposed of the noble Lisette and his ineffectual older brother in one swift move to weaken the rival family and secure his own place in his family's legacy. Arnois is sent to Amanos, where he spends little time finding the highest cliff and throwing himself from it. The devious Duforts are painted as duplicitous villains who corrupted and killed a once beloved daughter of Galen. But indeed, even the Mornard version insists on the lovers being pushed to these lengths by Druid interference. I've seen little dialogue on this matter, or even on the fanciful notion by Jacques Dufort that Lisette Mornard was secretly a Druid? Witch? He can't seem to make up his mind on that front. Nevertheless, each version of this story contains sentiment that casts Druids as faceless monsters, demanding that mainland Bretons quit the Sisters. And to that I say, why not? Is that really so much to ask when the Druids occupied these islands first? It's a fanciful notion, to be sure, but not entirely unreasonable from the Druidic point of view. I also suggest that one might use what one can determine from non-Druidic cultures to poke holes in the story of these two ill-fated lovers. Given that Lisette and Arnois were firstborn heirs, are we really to believe that the accidental death of one at the hands of the other would not have provoked an open war between the two houses? And to that point, if these two died when the lineage charts say they did, Where are either of them buried? And finally, I ask, why might both houses that despise one another agree that the Druids were, in some part, responsible for the fate of Lisette and Arnois? Ah, but there's a simple answer to that question, is there not? See the title of this piece. We Druids make convenient scapegoats. Imagine the lover's perspective. Being together openly is not an option. Escaping together from the sisters is impossible. And given the Breton propensity for arranging fortuitous marriages, they must think quickly before one or both of them are sold like livestock to the coin baron with the most jangly purse. This is where I admit that in the oral history of my Eldertide circle, we do indeed take credit for ferrying letters between these two lovers and more. Perhaps we did perform their marriage and secret them away from Galen and High Isle. There is, after all, an island in the Sisters known as the Inescapable Island. Yes, I speak of Amanos. Think of it, a pact taken together to unite their houses, wherein their parting would mean their probable death. They had branded themselves prisoners of conscience, you see? It was a good plan, sending a powerful message to their families. Too powerful a message, in fact. Firstborn heirs, refusing their family names and making themselves effectively irremovable from the one island where they might be together. Putting what I know of non-Druidic Breton culture to use, I know that such a happening would be a ruinous scandal, strong enough to make waves that would reach mainland shores. A scandal like that is strong enough to make lifelong enemies likely to craft an agreed-upon narrative. Their children died at each other's hands, and moreover, the Druids drove them to do it. As for the lives of Lisette and Arnois, is it really so inconceivable that shedding their names, their mainlander habits, and their acceptance of their lives as Druids of Amanos might have led to a long and happy life together? I don't think so, but I expect few would agree with me. Alright, that was a pretty interesting book. I don't want to fight that guy again. Alright, let's see if we can find anything else. We need to find one more clue, which I guess is up here. It looks like there's a Skyshard nearby, too. It's a fire over here. Burnt ember blooms.
Ember blooms? The Firesong used them to cast certain spells. Are they involved in this too? Let's take a look in the lodge. There might be something about the relic there.
Druid Laurel, you might want to get out of the fire. It might get a little hot if you keep standing there. Should I go get the Skyshard? I'm gonna wait. I won't get it quite yet. Eldertide Lodge we're in. Oh, she's running ahead of me.
Archdruid Orlaith, what are you doing here?
Confirming a suspicion, little Laurel. Archdruid Raval was right to call the Drafa together. Tell him the Firesong will attend. The time has come to gather the seeds. The prophecy of the Druid King is at hand.
The seeds? Is that what this... Oh, Blight. She's gone. Friend, we should talk.
Yeah, you better explain to me what's going on.
Root and rot! That was Archdruid Orlaith, leader of the Firesong Circle. I think I know what really happened here, and I don't like it at all.
What do you mean, Laurel?
The relic the Dreadsails sought is the sacred seed of the Eldertide, a gift of the last Druid King. Each circle was granted one. That's what Archdruid Orlaith meant by gathering seeds. Could she be the Druid mentioned in the Dreadsails' orders?
The Firesong attacked Earthenroot Enclave and tried to capture Free in Glenmoral.
I thought Devirik and Mishiel were Firesong renegades, acting of their own accord. But the orders we found, and what Orlaith just said, the Firesong want all the sacred seeds.
I see that.
Archdruid Orlaith leads the Firesong, This is her doing.
Why are the seeds so important? Are they powerful?
Not as far as I know. The seeds are mentioned in the Dream of Cassarain, the prophecy of the last Druid king. The Firesong seem to believe its time has come. The other circles, not so much. Perhaps the Draifa can make sense of all this.
Draifa. It's pronounced Draifa. Those gauntlets that we got earlier, they're Draifa gauntlets. The Draifa?
A council of druids, elders from all three circles. Archdruid Reval of the Stone Lore has summoned the Draifa to address grievances against the Firesong. But up till now, Orlaith ignored him. Tell Stefan about this. Pirates aren't his only problem.
All right, I'll tell Sir Stefan what we learned here. Any books or anything cool in here? No? Okay. Alright, so where is... what's his name? Apparently... I need to go here next. So... I'm just gonna go ahead... try to get this Skyshard. Keep expecting enemies to pop out, but so far I've been lucky. There it is. Oh, I got a skill point. What should I get? Don't really need green balance passives. Do I use any Winter's Embrace skills? I don't think I do. Ruffian gives you 8% damage bonus when attacking stunned, immobilized, disoriented, or silenced enemies. Or I could get Twin Blade and Blunt. Grants a bonus on the type of weapon equipped, which increases... I think I'm using daggers? So this would increase my critical chance. I think this is better than Ruffian. I'm going to take this one. Oh, I've got 3 skill points. I'll take both of them then. And then I'll see, do I have any bow passives I need? Hasty Retreat. Grants you Major Expedition for 2 seconds after you use Roll Dodge. Major Expedition increases your movement speed by 30%. Alright. Let me see if we'll do anything next time. I've already got all my medium armor. What else would I need? Do I have all my racial skills? Yeah. I need to increase my crafting. Really, I should have spent these points on crafting, but okay. And actually, I'm going to stop the video right now. And at the beginning of the next episode, we will start on the next objective. Thanks for watching. See you next time.